you mentioned in this process Pebble.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that should be our word of the day.
What is Pebble?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think it's something people are like, what are they talking about?
So Pebble would be an aggregate pool finish. And there is Pebble Technology, which was the original people that came out of Australia. Their headquarters actually in the U.S. is in Scottsdale, so I'm very familiar with them. Great organization. They came out with what was called Pebble Tech, probably 30 years ago now.
Right. Yeah.
And Pebble Tech was, a larger aggregate stone. And unfortunately, what happened in the industry is it all gets lumped into one. And so different companies have different specifications for product, and some have a higher specification than others. So I've had in the past, especially in Phoenix, because we did so many Pebble Tech pools, people would just throw, well, I don't want Pebble because it's really rough. Well, what I'm saying is that some are rougher than others. And so in the early 2000s, Pebble Technology came out with what's called Pebble Sheen.
Correct.
And the Pebble Sheen is a smaller aggregate, so it's a little bit more smooth. Now, this can be diamond polished, but you almost don't need it unless you want a perfectly smooth surface, which I don't necessarily think makes the most sense, but you could. You could. And in fact, a pool that I built in 2003 was the second Pebble Sheen pool done in the U.S., and it was Bordeaux.
Oh, beautiful color.
It looked great, but it was a very natural looking pool with lots of flagstone decking and natural rock waterfalls and a massive, massive sun shelf. I mean, multi-level sun shelf with water features.
So Pebble, so a lot of people say Pebble Tech when they talk about a pool finish. It's like saying Coke.
Yeah.
It's, or Kleenex or something like that. It's actually the manufacturer that people use as the descriptive. And so some people use the word Pebble just as, so it's not Pebble Tech. And what the one thing I also have used Pebble Tech since it came out stateside. And when you're using Pebble Tech, all the applicators have to be certified.
Yes.
And so that certification process, I explained to people, the really cool thing about it is I can take a sample of Pebble Sheen, comes in a little triangle, and I can throw it in your pool. You probably won't be able to find it because all the pool will be finished like that sample.
Exactly the same.
Now, I've had to use, when I came back to Texas from California, there were only 2 applicators in the Metroplex that did Pebble Sheen and Pebble Tech. And so they could pick and choose the companies they wanted to work with. And they're like, we really don't want to work with you, Mike. And I'm like, why? They said, well, your projects are massive.
Yeah.
And our guys can do 2 small jobs a day versus doing your 1 job a day. And since we pay them by their work, they'd rather do the 2 small pools. So we don't want to do your pools. And I called the Pebble Tech president and said, hey, listen, I dealt with you for years in Northern California. You need to get another crew out here because there's not enough people to do the work. And he's like, well, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, but so I had to use other applicators that were using a Pebble product. It was not Pebble Tech.
Still way better than a lot of surfaces, no matter what. I'm just going to say that if you want a long-term interior finish in your pool, one that is durable, one that is forgiving, one that allows you to make a mistake from a time or 2 or 40, do an aggregate finish. Now, obviously, Mike and I, we believe in the Pebble Technology products, but there's other good products out there.
Right.
But they're just separating themselves from everybody else, which is what companies do, and they require a certification process.
Right. So what I was just going to say is I could throw the sample in those other pools and I could find it.
Yeah.
So and the reason they cost less is because they didn't finish the product as much. And the more you finish it, the better the finish is. So, but yes, plaster, any pebble finish is far superior to a plaster finish.
Absolutely. It's just very, very durable.
Yeah. So plaster has changed radically in the last 40 years. So what you're getting today is something that's going to stain. It's going to erode quicker, so it's going to be rougher. The life expectancy is much shorter. than any Pebble product.
Right. And with say a plaster pool in Arizona, in Southern California, I'm assuming probably Florida the same way here, you drain that pool. And we're not going to talk about the pitfalls of draining a pool in areas with water tables. But the plaster itself, if you drain that pool, in about 10 days, it'll dry out, start peeling off, and you're toast. You're chipping it out and redoing it. With the Pebble pool, it's possible that pool could be drained for 6 months. Acid wash it, fill it back up, and it's fine. Oh. It's just that durable.
It's a great product.
Mm-hmm. And worth every penny.